Hi everyone, we're live, we're back, we're ready to play some dungeons and also some dragons. And I'm very excited to get into it. So without further ado, let's introduce our characters here. First up, we have Othgarurt Charirgix, the Bone Knapper. Othgarurt, how are you?
I have been hard at work.
Yes, I know that you were mentioning some crafting that you were planning on doing with, I believe, the bones of your fallen allies in a recent adventure. Is this what you've been working on, or is it something else?
I have been splitting my time between refining my own halberd, crafting these two ceremonial daggers,
Mm,
and continuing to work on what I have currently named Shark Stride.
yes. How is production on Shark Stride? Can you give us kind of a progress report?
I believe I may have to find a new material to use as the core grasp of the axe, a
What?
sturdier backbone than a fish can provide.
Mm, mm. Do you have any kind of particular target in mind? Now, I'm actually curious about this. Othgarurt, do you hunt specific creatures for their bones, or do you use the bones of whatever creature you happen to be hunting?
I hunt strong, powerful creatures, primarily predators that have been known to be sturdy and fierce, for within their bones resides their strength, and that will carry forth into the weapon.
There seems to be some spirituality about it almost. Are you more of the practical sort, or do you feel that some of the animal spirit resides within whatever you create?
I try to keep myself practical for the values of strong weapons, but I do believe that from strong predators comes the best resources for the strongest weapons, not just for their age or their strength, but for their fierce spirit as well. Yes.
That is interesting to hear, Othgar. I hope that your new creations, although is it going to be unveiled? Will you be kind of wielding it today, or are you holding off for now?
It is unlikely that I shall be using it anytime soon.
Hmm,
It still needs much work.
quite a bit of work. I understand. Well, I look forward to seeing it when it is complete. And welcome back, Othgar. Next, we have returning now Cyron, High Priest of the Crypt Keeper and Emissary of the Lich Lord. Um, did I get all of your titles correct?
Yes, you did.
Very good. Cyron, I feel like it has been some time since we've seen you take to the adventuring fields. What have you been up to? How have you been?
Oh, I've been quite well. Dealing with certain situation
A particular
in the
situation?
undead community.
Anything that you are able to share with us today, or is it kind of more secretive amongst you undead?
Oh, it's not too secretive. They're just those who view the undead as who view the undead race as well unholy and attack us regardless of regardless of whether we're sentient or not. And
This
you know,
is this is terrible. I've heard about such kind of individuals for a long time. There is some tension in the air when undead are about, as there are those undead that have lost much of their soul, and people have a tendency to assume that all undead have lost their souls in this manner. It is a shame, Siren. I'm glad to see that you're out there fighting the good fight and making sure that those undead that have not passed on completely are well protected.
yes,
Um,
it's just one of the many duties that I perform.
well, the land of DnDTime is better for you out there doing it, and it is good to have you back once more. Welcome back, Siren. And next up, we are all Fable tier adventurers today, so all veterans that you know fairly well. We have Anadoltia Bluebeads, Confectia's porcelain princess. Anadoltia, how are you?
Quite fine, thank you.
Anadoltia, tell me, how have you been of late? I understand that you've received a missive from your patron, Confectia, recently.
Yes, it's, well, less a missive and more a just general statement.
Hmm.
She's pretty much told me that after a future battle I may partake in, that she will reveal something to me about my eyes in a dream I've been having quite a bit recently, and to also avoid a very big liquor lynx with a red and black coloring, as a very, very wide grin.
Hmm. It sounds perhaps a bit foreboding, or at least serious. What is this dream you've been having, Anadoltia, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, I can't hide from it forever, but ever since the Carnival of Souls, I
Ah,
keep
yes.
seeing, I keep seeing this girl in my dreams. I mean, she kind of looks like me, but is not a doll and is gray skin and red eyes, and is wearing something that looked like the costume I was wearing at the Carnival of Souls thing. But yes, she keeps speaking this cryptic uh, accent, saying like Vonderland is waiting for you or something like that, and then I just wake up.
That is perhaps perhaps it's nothing to worry about. Maybe I hope Confectia will shed some light on these strange dreams for you when you eventually are able to have that talk.
Yes, I hope so too. But other than that, just me and Sugar still getting ready
The
for the
wedding,
wedding and all that.
indeed. Well, I'm glad that regardless of what other interesting omens are happening in your life, that the wedding preparations continue to move smoothly, it would seem.
Yes,
Very good. Anadoltia, welcome back. It's good to see you again.
thank you.
And last but not least, we have the Blossom of Floran Sorcerer. We have Zewxip. Zewxip, it's good to see you once more.
It's a pleasure to return. Oh, it's been so beautiful these past few days.
Yes, it has been a pretty gorgeous. Spring is now, I think, fully in bloom here in the land of DnDTime. Is this your favorite time of year, Zewxip, when the new life begins to kind of sprout?
It's a hopeful one, but I believe that's summer, where
Mm,
it's so hot and warm, and the breeze just blows through your, well, maybe not your, but my particular anatomy, my petals and leaves, and between my roots, and oh, it's wonderful. But I can't turn down that just every day seems to be raining. Every single day it's been raining. I know a lot of people want to do stuff like mow their lawns, but I can't just help but enjoy it.
you enjoy the rain, Zewxip.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I was worried that you were upset about being kind of kept from the sun. I suppose rain and sun both are very important components of life for you.
They are, and it's also what keeps us sailing. And on that note, I've felt just more invigorated, like there's more of us around. I'll have to try and search them out and see what they have to say too.
Um, Now, when you encounter another Zewxip, as you have in many places kind of, spread your seeds, planted yourself throughout the world, are all Zewxips, and forgive me if this is insulting in some way, are all Zewxips the same? Do you all kind of retain more or less the same personality, or have you met Zewxips that are wildly different from you?
They are different because they've experienced different things. We're all Zuzip in a fashion, but we're all different. And when we talk and we discuss and we pass on the things that we've learned through our Zuzip network, I believe that a particular bunny folk informed you of such a thing in a prior
Yes.
adventure. We learn from each other and grow. Pardon the Florin pun.
Uh, it is pardoned and forgiven completely. Zewxip, welcome back. It is good to have you adventuring once more. And without further ado, let us begin our adventure. Today you'll be traveling to the Sacred Vale, wherein lies the Academy of Light. For any of you who are unfamiliar with it, the Academy of Light is a school that is dedicated to training young clerics and paladins that are of generally good or more lawful alignments, um, in the kind of the methods of their arts, teaching them things like simple rituals and spell casting, and for a lot of the students here, it's also a place to kind of live out something of a fulfilling youth before they have to begin kind of devoting their life to their deities. And today you've received a request from a student on that campus, a student by the name of Kyle. When Bartholomew kind of told you about it, he said his name was, he said his name had kind of like a title scroll with it. It was Kyle Thunderbane, and next to it was the Dorm King, whoever that is. And apparently he's made some kind of, caused some kind of problem within the dormitories at the Academy of Light that he needs adventurers' help in order to solve. So where we begin officially, you are standing in front of the Academy of Light dormitories. As you have crossed the campus, there are various, clerics about casting light. You see basically all of the frisbees that are being tossed back and forth all have light cantrips on them as it's getting kind of near dusk. There are, a number of different individuals that are just out, studying, people walking to and from classes. There is one single dormitory here, as many of the clerics travel and kind of commute to college here. But the large dormitory, you can see people gathering around outside of it, and you stand in front of the main entrance into it. There are a lot of people that are huddling outside of the dormitory at the moment. What would you all like to do as you approach and your adventure begins?
Anadoltia will probably look around first. If she sees Victorious, she'll probably wave to him through the darkness, even though he might not see her. But she's also going to try to make notes, see if the dormitory has any rules posted on the outside.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make me one, a perception check, and two, an investigation check. I guess, no, just perception check, I think is good enough.
All right, 1 second.
Just one for all. You don't see Victorious just kind of hanging around. You think he might commute, but as you are looking for the posting of dorm rules, there is a simple wooden plaque that has a number of rules carved into it. There is one. The first one, basically, it implies that you need to follow the instructions of your RAs, which is just kind of like a simple general blanket statement. There are bans on, certain substances, amount of alcohol that you can have in the dorm. There's a spell casting limit. You cannot cast spells above first level while within the dormitory grounds, which is applied only to students, naturally, but other than that, specific rules, it seems relatively relaxed. Just basic kind of health and safety, basic health and safety violations. Some restrictions on the number of light spells that they're able to have in a given room and their proximity to curtains, things like that.
So there's no rules about having pets in reference to sticky puppy.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely a rule that says you cannot have pets if that's what you're looking. Well, actually, it's not listed on this particular plaque. It doesn't say you can't have a pet on that plaque. Whether or not you can have a pet is a different story, but you don't see it written, posted on the wall.
All right, because anyway, it also probably use the excuse of it's not a pet, it's a mount.
Yeah, of course. Lots of people are finding steeds out in the open outside of the dorm.
Okay.
So, what are the rest of you doing as you're kind of mulling about here outside the dorm?
I'm going to be going to play Glow Frisbee with everyone. I love light.
Oh yeah, go ahead and make me an athletics check. Just as you're kind of tossing the disc around. 12. All right, not bad. Yeah, you go in, you intercept a glowing frisbee from one kind of elven paladin that you see walking around. They kind of call out to you. Hey, nice catch, little flower man.
Thank you. Now, what am I supposed to do with it? Throw it back?
You
And
take
to
it.
whom?
Why don't you pass it over to Logan there? And points over to a person on the other side, and you see another elven, looks like a cleric, wearing kind of the full armor. They cut like a hammer that's over their back that's currently sheathed, and you hear from over the other side just a wave. Hi, and he just kind of holds it up. Yeah, you just take it and you just throw. He does
Oh.
like the frisbee motion.
Fascinating. Is this a sport? And I'll throw it. Do you want another athletics, or am I
Yeah,
just
why
doing it?
not? Show me how it's done. 15. Yeah, you throw it to him. It curves a little. You just take like a step, but it's pretty good first throw. And he says, the paladin looks at you again. All right, nice, man. You want to like play? We're gonna be probably going for a while. We're thinking about putting together a game of super.
Super what?
Super frisbee? It's sort of like ball game, but we play it with a frisbee instead of a ball.
Is that thing you're throwing
It's-
the frisbee?
It's the ultimate frisbee game you can play. Yeah, that's called a frisbee or a discus, depending on your region.
A bunny friend of mine plays a game called Cornhole. Have you heard of that as well?
Oh, that's the one where you kind of hollow out the ears of corn and try and like flip pennies into it, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, then I haven't.
Oh, maybe I could teach you that, but I will play your frisbee for now.
Yeah, I mean, we're stuck out here anyway. Can't really go in the dorms, so. And he begins kind of tossing you the frisbee. What's everyone else doing? Cyron, Othgarurt, what are you guys up to?
I am curious about the establishment I was at the last time I was here. That fancy bar place where we play darts.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
still in good standing.
That's a touch off campus, but
The high spirits.
yeah, the high spirits. Are you going to like try and like walk down that direction, or are you just like asking people around about it?
I am just asking if it is still in good standing and not has been torn down or overrun.
And all right, so yeah, you begin asking people in the crowd. One of them responds with, "Oh yes, the high spirits is still up, probably packed tonight, as everyone's kind of been moved out. Which you're not a student here, are you?"
No, I am just someone who has helped here a time or two.
I didn't recognize you. She's kind of a gnomish looking druid, it seems, and she continues to speak to you. Yeah, you're probably not going to find a table there tonight if you want to go, but I mean, like I said, it's pretty much the only place to buy a drink around here. She looks at you kind of like expectantly.
Why are everyone leaving the dorms so suddenly tonight?
Oh, yeah, Kyle. Well, his liege, as he prefers to be called. Well, he was throwing a party last night. Pretty much everyone on campus was invited, and I guess someone bought a bad scroll, and it kind of ruined it for everyone. On the subject, keeping this on the down low, right? And she looks at you and just kind of puts a finger to her lips. We don't want the professors finding out about any perhaps higher level magic that might have or may not have been done in the dormitories here. You were cool, right?
Oh, yes, I do not know any professors here.
That's good news. Yeah, so, yeah, bad gate. You never want to trust, well, a gate from someone who was not a reputable scroll dealer. I don't know who purchased the gate, but yeah, bad business overall. And while they're trying to clean it up, I mean, it's not my job. We're going to leave it to them who messed things up in the first place. We're just waiting out here until they say it's all clear.
Thank you for telling me these things.
No
If you
problem.
see Chad, please tell them I have said hello.
I will let any of those Chads know. Haven't seen him around quite as much lately, but I will send your greetings. What's your name?
I am Othgarurt Charirgix.
Othgarurt. Got it. And yeah, all right. You kind of step away. Cyron, what are you up to?
He's gonna go up to one of the students that's, I guess, just throwing the light frisbees around,
Yeah.
and say, "So why is everybody out here instead of in the dorms? I mean, what's going on?"
Okay. Yeah. You're gonna get in the kind of frisbee group along with Zewxip and the others.
Yes and no. I'm gonna get in the group, but I'm not gonna actually try and join in.
All right. Yeah. You just walk over next to that guy that was named Logan before.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, you didn't hear? Wait, you're not a teacher, are you?"
No, I don't attend this school.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from I'm part of Bartholomew's adventures, so
Yeah, he tells you a lot of the kind of same information that Othgarurt heard. He goes, yeah, bad gate. Apparently, apparently Kyle is pretty upset about it. He's inside there right now. He's inside there right now, holding court at the moment, trying to figure out what's responsible. He said he was going to take care of it. I have no idea how he intends to take care of it. He is still level 1, but we'll see.
wait. So he's inside the dorm right now, trying to take care of whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah, like I said, bad gate.
I'm gonna try and head into the dorms.
All right.
See what's going on.
Do you all want to kind of reconvene and move as one?
Yes.
Anadoltia was pretty much there at anyway, just standing at that board, like looking it over while they got gathered information.
Yeah, scoping things out. You're definitely, you feel like on a regular day, you probably wouldn't get away with bringing your sticky puppy in, but today, where everyone seems very distracted, your dear sticky puppy begins tracking sugar on the ground as they walk through the dorm, and you guys begin moving through, and it is pretty dark. It is pretty dark within. Only a few ever-burning torches light on either side. You can see there are a lot that are just not currently lit, as most of the students are out. And you begin walking and kind of moving down these twisting and curving hallways. And as you do so, you can see that this entire dormitory is currently trashed. There are remnants of basically what seems like a pretty ridiculous party that was thrown here. You can see, leftover detritus of food and various, goblets and wine cups, things like that. You can see a couple of like musical instruments from a band that must have just like abandoned their instruments just out in the hallway from whatever's been happening here. As you walk down one corridor, you can see there's like a whole bunch of furniture that looks like it's been piled up, completely blocking off that hallway, behind which you can hear some what sounds like just terrible gurgling noises. You hear like a deep kind of and beyond, further down, looking up ahead, you can see some light and what looks like a big well-lit chamber that actually opens up into a pretty huge space. The hallways here, despite this being a dormitory, are definitely taller than most of the hallways that you would expect. Like, it's pretty grandiose for a dorm. And at the end of the hallway, there's like one very large door that's, like I said, it's kind of held open, and there's some light kind of pouring through. And then there's the hallway on the right that's kind of like blocked up, and you can hear the noises behind. What do you guys want to do?
I wish to investigate the blocked hallway.
All right, yeah. You walk down to the left, like I kind of described to you. I mean, it's as I described. It's piled up with furniture, pretty deep and you can hear not just that sound, but as you're getting close to there, also some kind of heavy, like very bassy breath on the other side of that door as well.
Can I smell anything?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, you begin just kind of breathing in the air on the other side. There is definitely a scent on the air. It is foul. It is not anything that you're immediately able to place, but it is decidedly unpleasant and almost like it's foul in a way that feels unnatural chemically.
There is definite danger here.
Noted.
So what else do you guys want to do?
I guess Anadoltia will probably go down the way that is not blocked off and see if she can find this Kyle person.
Yeah. And as you move in, this space that you're now in, it appears to be a very, very big dorm room. And you see the person that is undoubtedly Kyle, because they are dressed in a garb that is seemingly befitting one who calls themselves the Dorm King. The room that you walk into with this very like huge door at the end of the hallway, you see it was clearly designed for an individual of gargantuan size, as sitting on a makeshift throne that seems to be put together out of like a regular very big dorm room chair and a bunch of decorations, is this storm giant who's sitting with their hands on either side of the throne, looking down. They have what looks like a very big paper crown on their head. They're carrying a scepter, and at the end of their scepter, there's just like a big mug of beer. And there are also a lot of other people in this room that are just kind of looking around a little bit impatiently and kind of nervous. Right as you kind of approach, a halfling girl kind of walks up to you and says, "Stop there! Stop there!"
Anadoltia just stops and like looks down on her from her sticky puppy.
Yes, you're just very slightly taller, just ever so slightly taller on the sticky puppy than this halfling. And she looks at you, and then kind of says, "What is your business with His Majesty?"
Anadoltia just looks at her, then looks to the Majesty and back to her and says,
I'm here with Bartholomew's adventurers.
And she looks at you and says, "Ah, we've been expecting you. Are you the only one that's coming? Or is everyone following through at this point, or?"
I will follow.
I'd like to kind of stay back in the dim light and hide.
Yeah.
And listen.
Go ahead and make a stealth check. All right. Yeah. I mean, you step back and kind of tuck into a little bit of an alcove that you find in the hallway. There's like an open door that you hide behind. I mean, they can't see you. You don't know whether or not they saw you walk in. Very good. Cyron, you coming up too?
Yep.
All right. In that case, she says, "Very good. In that case, you now see before you Kyle Thunderbane, first of his name, King of the Academy of Light Dormitory, thrower of parties, dancer of songs, repeater of the 15th semester, guzzler of the largest mug at the Boar's Head Tavern, completer of rituals and spellcasting 102, and survivor of the midterm exam. Hail before him." And she kind of gestures, and this big storm giant kind of leans down and kind of leans forward and puts out his big hand, which you see has like a plastic, like a gaudy plastic jewelry ring on it, and he kind of puts it forward.
Anadoltia is not really knowledgeable about this, but she just holds her hand out.
He looks down and he goes, "No, you're supposed to kiss the ring. That's a king thing."
Anadoltia looks up at him and says, "You do realize I'm a doll. I don't have lips to kiss."
I mean, you just put your head near it. That would be enough.
She sighs, just does that.
Great. You're Bartholomew's adventurers, which I have hired.
Yes.
Very good. You see, we have thrown, well, a legendary rager last night. Unfortunately, Patrick, and he looks over, and you see there's just a human guy in stockades over on the left. He has his bunk beds are really huge, and there's just like a stockade set up in the middle of one of them, and you just see kind of like a hungover looking dude kind of look up and go, just kind of wave. Patrick there, purchased a bad gate spell.
And
Anadoltia looks to him and says,
okay, so what is a bad gate? Because we've been.
You've never gated before. Gate is one of the most fun party enhancers, although you always need to know your scroll dealer in advance. Now, Gate allows you to conjure an extraplanar being. Now, we intended to conjure a couple of devas that were of the god of revelry. Unfortunately, we instead opened a gate to the abyss. This was not by any means the gate that we intended to open. And so when we got here to turn things up, we turned things very, very far down.
All right.
And so I would like the four of you, as I am not a master of magics in any means, I can cast Healing Word now. And he kind of throws his hand over, and you see just a little healing light appear on that guy he called Patrick before. And Patrick goes, "Hey, thanks. I am by no means capable of removing this gate spell yet, at least not until after I graduate. When do we learn 9th levels?" And one of the the people in the room responds, We never learn 9th level spells, my liege. No matter. I suppose that you would be able to deal with this 9th level magic?
Yes, we will kill the magic.
That is what I like to hear. I put together a bit of a barricade. It's mostly made of furniture down there. I will smash through it if you would like to move forward, or if you have your own methods, I will leave it for you to deal with.
I do have a question.
By all means, little one.
This gate, how big is it and where is it placed?
It was definitely faulty. Usually when you get a gate, they are absolutely righteous. They take up the whole room, and all kinds of swirling colors of light and celestial energy flow out. This one was a bit smaller. And he kind of does a motion with his hands. And it looks to be about the size of an average door that he kind of makes with his hands. And what was the second part of your question?
The second part was about where is it located?
It's down in, Patrick. And he looks over at Patrick again. And Patrick goes, "It's in my room. It's down the hall to the right, 3 doors."
Yeah, and Anadoltia nods, goes looks and goes,
Patrick, about how big is your room compared to this one?
It's like a regular one. This one's regular for him, you know?
Okay, yeah, so Anadoltia pulls out her powdered silver and stuff and goes, "I have an idea though. We may need a bit of a tactic to just see into the room without being seen by whatever's in there."
They might have. There's only one exit here, because if there's ever an emergency, they'll usually just teleport people out or magic people out in some other way.
Indeed, this is true. So they should be contained, but they may have roamed now into the halls. Patrick didn't close the door to his room. Another in his list of mistakes. And Patrick kind of looks. You told me not to do that. You also hooked me up with the. The scroll dealer. Silence, Patrick.
And Anadoltia decides, like, looks at everyone else, says, let's just get going. Get this done.
After we are finished, will you tell me the harrowing tale of how you survived the midterm exam? It sounds very life-threatening and grim.
Yes, my entire future was at stake. I will regale you of it. Yeah, he promises, and with that, he goes, do you want me to smash down the chairs, or are you good?
Yes, I would like to see you smash the furniture.
Very good. He steps out of his throne. Hold my scepter. Passes it over to someone. It's way too big for them, and they kind of like struggle and kind of groan as they pick up the scepter with the giant-sized mug on the end of it, and he begins kind of stomping down the hallway. I don't want to fight the demons, though. They terrify me. And with one kind of massive kind of kick, he leans back. He definitely doesn't notice you, Zewxip. He walks like right past you. He kind of like, for a second where the foot's kind of falling, you think he might like curve and almost step on you, but he just doesn't notice and he walks past. He kind of swings one large arm kind of down the hallway. This hallway is not giant sized. They just kind of made the first main entrance big enough for a giant. So he has to kind of like bend down to punch into it, but he just throws a fist forward and through. And the furniture just goes clattering down into the hallway. And beyond, it is, like I said, relatively dark, saved a few kind of those ever-burning torches. The chairs kind of clatter and collapse. A lot of them just shatter instantly in the wood as his fist kind of passes through. And he speaks out, all right, the way is open. Go forth.
Okay, Anadoltia, as usual, has her double sight, so she can probably see into that darkness.
Yeah. It's an empty hallway. It turns in a couple of directions at the end. You know that at the end of that hallway, it turns to the right, and that's where Pat's room was. Patrick.
Okay.
But yeah, there's nothing in the hallway save a whole bunch of... Actually, make me a perception check. See if you catch anything.
Yeah, I'll just use mine since I'm the only one who can actually see through that darkness.
17. You're looking down through the darkness, and there's a patch of the darkness that actually seems to be like writhing and moving a bit right at the corner of the hallway.
And Anadoltia kind of looks back at the party and like lets them know that there's something there. I just like to, be prepared.
Yeah. In that case, what do you all do?
Well, I'll walk out and I will congratulate our dorm king here on smashing a pile of my cousin's corpses in a very brutish fashion. But I as a compliment, I'm impressed by his strength.
He goes, thank you,
Anadoltia.
small flower.
Oh. Yes. Well, I can be not so small, if you prefer. Anadoltia, you say there's something at the end. I cannot see that far. I'll have to follow you, or if you advise, we would need a source of light.
Maybe I could let my teeth shine. I put moon juice on my teeth once, by mistake.
What a great sentence.
Yeah, Anadoltia just lets them know about how far down it is and about where it is, and just let Othgarurt lead the way.
All right, Othgarurt, you begin baring your fangs in the hallway as you step forth hesitantly, and as you do so, as you do so, you can hear in the distance, very, very faint, some incredibly lively music, and you're just kind of like following along and moving down the hallway. And Anadoltia, you see those shadows that were kind of like moving in an odd pattern. As the light gets closer, they kind of drift backwards into the hallway, seemingly retreating from it, and it's just kind of normal looking darkness there at the end of the hallway.
So
Uh,
wait, it moves to the right and to the other hallway.
It moves further down the right, back, kind of like backing in the direction of where you're going.
Okay, so that's what I was asking, like the direction of where we were heading to.
Yeah, it kind of backs down the hallway that you were already headed down.
I let my the party know that.
All right, you tell everyone.
Though also, I also asked Othgarurt to like when they get to the corner of the hallway to just stop there and to, like stand there so she can actually look further into the next one around the corner.
Yeah, around the corner, as you kind of turn, you no longer see it. You do see a strange, that music's kind of getting louder. It's a very like upbeat and jaunty tune that you're kind of hearing. And as you're kind of pulling around, you can see around the corner, there's another hallway, but you know that from what Patrick said, his room was in this hallway that you're in now. And there is one room with very like odd purple and green light just kind of like spilling outwards into the hallway, casting very strange shadows.
Okay, so how far down the hall is it?
About 3 doors on your left, so maybe 15, 20 feet. Are you guys being kind of quiet? Are you guys trying to stealth down the hallway, or are you just kind of walking?
I was gonna say just stealth because there's something I want to do. It will take about a minute, but if the other party members are cool with,
I
yeah,
agree. Stealth is a good idea.
Yeah. So
Same.
stuff.
okay, so Anadoltia actually wants you to move stealth forward and until she can actually be within range of that third door.
Okay, go ahead and make me a stealth check. And you're like, your intent is to move ahead of everyone right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to move just. I'm going to move ahead just a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Then,
Yeah, and why doesn't everyone make me a stealth check at this point? I think that's a good idea. So yeah, you take a few steps ahead and move up to the door. There's not a lot of reaction to it. On the other side of the door, you do hear more of that kind of heavy breathing that I described before, more of that kind of coming from the other side. And then all of a sudden you hear like a much louder kind of as whatever's on the other side of the door, oh my god, you guys are so incredibly stealthy. As whatever's on the other side of the door sounds like it's almost eating, you can hear like the crunching of food.
all right, so yeah, what I'm going to do, Anadoltia at least, so it's just the range is 10 feet of what I'm doing, and I'm actually using the powdered silver and all that for a magic circle at the third door.
At the third door, very well.
Yeah.
What do?
I want to do the ladder effect of like when I cast it, it'll operate in a reverse direction, preventing a creature of the type from leaving the cylinder and or protecting targets outside it. So I'm pretty much putting it at the right in front of that door.
Okay, that's really cool. I am gonna need you to, while you're doing that, make another spellcasting check. I'm sorry, make another stealth check with disadvantage because this has verbal components, so you're just speaking right outside of the door. But if you can pull it off, I think you get this whole thing out without them even noticing it.
All right.
Because yeah, you are just kind of like speaking the words of a spell right outside the door. 11. All right, let me roll for them.
Wait, so I had that disadvantage?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you're just talking outside the door, to be fair. But as you're doing this, they don't seem to notice. You cast the spell and the magic circle is in place.
All right, so it's gonna be there for an hour or two.
Yep.
So yeah, that's done, and up to the other party members, or like get back to them and like let them know that it's ready.
Okay. You kind of whisper that.
Actually, I kind of like walk back there and
No, I got you. So you guys are all there. What do you do next? You can still hear that kind of jaunty music coming from this same room that has the presumably has the gate in it.
All right, which also has that magic circle there, so that's fine. So I asked everyone else what they want to do now. I pretty much locked the creatures in there in a.
Does anyone have exploding magic we could throw in the room?
I think we should observe what's happening first. What is making the music? It's very interesting. I can't say I've heard of this before. I'd like to go and look.
All right, you're gonna walk up to the door and kind of peek in. I'll let you keep your stealth check from before. So you
Okay.
walk up and you kind of glance into the room. You can hear the sounds of that creature eating from the angle. Unless you want to like fully kind of move into the room, you probably can't see everything, but you can see over on like the right side of the room where you're looking. You can see a couple of you can see what looks like a floating flute and kind of like a drum set and a harp. And like a lute that are all just kind of like floating in the air, seemingly playing themselves like enchanted instruments. Usually pretty high-end expensive for kids to have these at a party. Usually expect this at a bigger affair. But yeah, you see that big pile of instruments there.
Is the door just kind of cracked? Like I'm able to get an angle on it, or?
Yeah, well, the door is open, but you're coming from like the door's on the left side of the room, so you can kind of like peek out into the right, unless you want to like move your whole body in and be kind of seen. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so there's floating musical instruments.
Yep, and you can hear the sound of a large creature in there kind of moving and eating. And there's actually you can see the outside edge of what appears to be the gate. You can see this kind of swirling, glowing just shape along the side. You're not sure how big it is because you can't see quite the whole thing.
Okay. I would like to, pardon me. I would like to cast Reduce on myself and go small and and continue inside. Stealthily.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make me another stealth check, because now you're walking right past this creature's kind of line of sight.
I'm going to walk through kind of confidently like I belong in here too.
Yeah, okay. I dig.
I think Anadoltia would join him.
Okay, Anadoltia, you kind of come up as well, and you begin moving in, and as you kind of stride forth into the space, you see within what appears to be this terrible looking, it looks almost like a big orange gorilla, and it's kind of just there. There were all kinds of like snacks on a table. It looks like the beds were moved out of this room, and there was just like a big table with snacks. All of it's kind of like torn apart. You see them like eating what looks to be like the last of a big bowl of chips that they have their mouth open and just pouring it in. But as you step in, they kind of whip around and they kind of turn and look at you, and you just hear, and immediately they kind of run at you, and as soon as they run at you, they take a step like into the magic circle, and you see like the edge of their foot reach it, and they kind of like put their hand out a couple of times, like touching the area, and you see it kind of like singe and smoke a little bit as they do so, and so you're like in the magic circle that Anadoltia put up at the door, and this big creature just kind of seems stuck.
So wait, it actually went into the magic circle and can't get back out now, right?
No, it's not like inside of it. I mean, it went to like move to where the magic circle was and couldn't move any further because you blocked it inside of the room.
No, the thing is, made it where the magic circle works in the ladder effect.
I don't know what you mean.
It prevents a creature of the specific type from leaving the cylinder and protecting people outside it.
It can't. I'm reading it right now. The creature can't willingly enter the cylinder. You put the cylinder at the door, yeah?
Let's say, the creature can't willingly enter a cylinder by non-magical means. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's stuck. So it's like basically you have a big shield at where the door frame is that it can't step through. So it's stuck in like the back part of the room.
Okay, so yeah, I look to the other, I kind of like go back to the hallway, let everyone else know it's time to start wheeling on.
We might still be able to talk.
Yeah, the creature's just kind of like frustratedly pacing back and forth in front of the circle now.
What ails you?
It responds, what languages do you speak, Zewxip?
Common, Sylvan, Draconic.
Yeah. It responds, in a language that I don't think you understand. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
No.
No.
Cyron, perchance?
Let me see. Actually, I do speak Abyssal.
Oh, what a coincidence. He says, what is this foul magic?
I repeat it. I say, he wants to know what kind of magic you cast.
I just simply look to Cyron as something to prevent him from attacking us, just in case.
I repeat this to the creature, I guess.
He responds, remove it. I won't attack.
Why should we trust you?
He thinks about it for some time. I just want to go get more food somewhere else.
What do you eat?
Anything.
A lot of the students out in the courtyard throwing these glowing discs were talking about something called edibles. And they all seem to
Sounds
enjoy
great.
it and have them.
Wait, so he's basically hungry?
He's very hungry, yeah, it seems. Put down this barrier.
Before he does, Anadoltia does anything else, she actually pulls out a jar of ale that she's had on her for a while. And yeah, she just like shoves it across the ground. It still has a top on it. It says, "How about?" And she just looks at it and says,
like you can drink that.
You see, they kind of take it, they pick up the mug, and as they open their mouth, it extends like significantly wider than you think it should, and they just eat the whole mug, including the ale within. More.
"Yeah, Anadoltia doesn't have any more, so she just shrugs."
Then remove this. What do you want of me?
I think we
Go
want to
home.
help you get back home. You aren't supposed to be here, right?
No. This
Oh,
is
you
a
poor lost
strange
man.
place. Yes.
So what, is the gate or like still open?
Yeah, the gate's open. It's swirling in the back of the room.
Yeah, I kind of like look to Zewxip and like I actually point to the gate. Says just to Zewxip, like the gate's right there. He could go home anytime, right?
Maybe. But can you? Well, I guess
He
is
doesn't-
it
he doesn't
understanding?
that you guys
Is
are
it
saying.
understanding?
No, it doesn't know anything you guys are saying unless Cyron says it.
Okay, so
I've just been assuming that Cyron's been translating, but if you guys
Yeah,
want to talk
yeah.
privately.
Cyron is definitely translating
Yeah.
all of this.
Can't you just go home?
I don't know how.
I think you just walk through that disc.
Oh. And he kind of like turns back and looks at it for a while. Could you show me how to go through the disc?
Anadoltia's just going ahead and make a insight check because she thinks this thing is really trying to trick her.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know. Big. I mean, it's tough to say. It's just such like a big, monstrous thing. It's definitely easy to feel that way, but you're not sure.
How like what are we talking size category wise?
Large.
Okay.
And the gate.
The gate's of large size. Looks like he would have barely been able to have fit through it. So it's about him sized.
How far away from it is he?
Not far. Maybe 10 feet or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a
All right.
lot of the room is taken up by the magic circle. He could just like take 2 steps back and walk through it.
Oh, if you need help going, then yes, I'll show you how you can do it.
Right before Zewxip actually goes through, Anadoltia will probably cast this on.
All right, you cast resistance on Zewxip. Zewxip, what do you do?
Well, I'm just a small little plant, kind of meandering around here. I'm going to put him between myself and the gate, and then I'm going to just kind of. All right, here we go. Are you ready? We're gonna send you home. I'll show you how to do this. This is a magic trick that I learned.
And he's kind of like gesturing, he's kind of pointing towards the gate, like gesturing, "Go on ahead, lead the way."
Yes, yes. Now watch. This magic trick will really blow you away.
Nice. He's gonna make a strength save.
That's I'm sorry, I meant gust of wind, not the cantrip.
I think he's got that. No worries. I think he's got that save anyway.
Well, I'm going to use the sorcery points to force a disadvantage on that.
Ooh. Still succeeds.
Hurry! The wind's to your back! I can't hold it much longer.
He kind of like maneuvers himself around to the other side of the room, such that the wind is no longer kind of. Or you can just keep moving it, can't you?
Yeah, I can maintain it and re-aim it.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, he just seems to be holding on as hard as he possibly can to not get pushed through the gate. And he's just there now in the room as this room is like raging. The instruments kind of like clatter up against the wall, and as they kind of smack against each other, they begin kind of incanting a different tune. The room is now full of this like terrible gusting wind. All of the food falls off, but he's like just holding on for bare life, trying not to get pushed into the gate.
Question: how far is he from the gate currently?
Only like 10 feet.
Only 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure what a. Never mind. I don't think I'm able to do it.
At this point, I'd like you guys to roll for initiative, I think. All right, Anadoltia, what do you want to do?
Okay, so, well, yeah, okay, 1 second. Anadoltia will just go ahead and start off by protecting herself.
Okay. All right, you bring up your Armor of Agathis.
Yep.
In that case, that's going to bring us next to Zewxip. I assume you're maintaining the wind.
Yeah, I'll just sidestep and work with me. I'm trying to help you. Translate that, please.
And you move the wind to like readjust him, and it happens on the start of his turn. So you still have an action. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I mean, I'll shoot. It's not really going to understand my. It's not going to understand my my words.
Yeah.
Is there what for body language? I don't know. Would you do something like a insight with charisma, or how could I try and convey that, you know, I'm not. It's not a damaging spell. Like I'm trying to accommodate.
I'm gonna say that. Make me a. I'll just let you make a performance check as you're kind of trying to like. I think that makes sense as you're trying to like, kind of mime out what he's supposed to be doing. And what the nature of your thing is. Yeah. You definitely are getting your message across. Absolutely. You do a very convincing performance, and you see the kind of acknowledgement in his eyes as the wind's kind of pushing him and kind of moving him forward that he just needs to like let go and do it. Yeah. You definitely.
Can I use my my special Floran druidcraft to also like produce some berries and be like, take these with you and feed them like through the wind stream?
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely catches the berries in his mouth as you throw them through the windscreen. Chomps down on him. In that case, Cyron, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna hold my turn.
Okay.
Right now.
Othgarurt.
I will charge into the room unarmed and assist in pushing the very large creature through the gate.
All right,
I
I'd like
shall
you-
shove him.
Yeah, make an athletics check. Contested by his own, which he fails. You shove him backwards. I believe a shove is 5 feet, right?
Yes, I shall
All right.
shove him again.
Oh, you get 2 attacks. Excellent. Do it again. See if you get it all at once. Yeah, you get him completely. I also need you to make me a strength saving throw, as you are within a big gust of wind that's pushing you forward. And you succeed that as well. With these 2 mighty shoves, you push this very big creature, kind of tumbles backwards, and you can see right as you got up to him, he was also getting ready to kind of like go and bite down on you. And as you kind of do that, he is going to use his ready action to make a bite attack against you. 13, I assume misses?
It misses, yes.
All right, yeah, and you shove him backward, and he tumbles into the portal. And yeah, the wind's just kind of like coursing through the room now, and the room is also completely empty. As we move on to his turn, Othgarurt, you're now kind of like standing in front of the portal. The wind's at the back, but your feet are dug into the ground. And as soon as he's kind of pushed through the gate, you see a large hand kind of reach out of the gate and go to grapple you. That's a 21. And this creature reaches out and holds onto your shoulder and then pulls backwards and drags you through the gate as well. As you come through it, you all see this huge gorilla fist reach out, grab onto Othgarurt, and just pull him back through the portal. And as you come onto the other side, you find yourselves sunk into this terrible-looking, just miry swamp. All around in the space are just like bubbling like ooze and these just awful looking environment, twisted, gnarled trees devoid of leaves, and additionally there's just this terrible droning sound. As you can see, kind of like fluttering up behind the gate is another very big looking demon. It looks like this blue fly with an awful kind of twisted proboscis, and now this big gorilla is just kind of like holding you back here behind the gate. He mutters something at you in the language that you don't understand, that he's been speaking this whole time, and with his next attack, since he's grappled and moved, he still has 2 attacks remaining. He's going to go bite you. 15.
It matches.
And a 19.
It hits.
All right, so that's 17 points of damage. You're not in a rage yet, are you?
I am not.
Okay. Yeah, you take 17 points of physical damage. That is, this thing pounds you once. And then you can also see, like behind in the space, this gate it seems like this gate is being like forcibly held open. You can see there are these like strands, these tethers of magic that are seeming to like stretch and keep it open, that exist on this side of the portal that you couldn't see from the outside. But you are also in a precarious situation. Top of the initiative, Anadoltia, you just saw your friend get pulled into a gate. It's very scary. What do you do?
All right, question. Is it dark in this room?
No, it is bright, if anything, from all the light spilling from the gate.
Okay, so Anadoltia will probably probably go through the. She probably looks at everyone else and like let them know that she's going to go help him. And then she's going to fly in through. She's going to try to jump in through the gate, and if it's dark in there, she will activate the cloak of the bat and fly.
Okay. In the room, the regular room, it is not dark, but when you move out the other side, in the immediate vicinity, it's kind of bright light from the gate doing the same thing on the other side. But you can take like a step out and then get into some dim light, as the swamp is definitely not lit up.
Okay, so about how much distance would that be total?
To cross the room, your cylinder, I think the room was about 15 feet because your cylinder's kind of at the edge of it. And in that case, it is, you get 15 feet across the room, movement. How fast can you fly?
Let's see. Let me look at the cloak of the bat. It says 40 feet.
All right, so you use about 20 feet of movement, so you can get maybe another 15 feet, I would say, because you can't like split up movement usually like that. So we'll say you're about 15 feet out of the portal. There's another big giant blue fly creature that's looking at you pretty threateningly as you move out of it.
Okay, so all right, so it takes about 20 feet to get to the outside of the portal, the other side of the portal, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to use the cloak of the bat yet. However, would I notice the strands of magic?
Yeah, as you walk through, you see them.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to hopefully, I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to try to use Eldritch Blast on those strands.
All right, make an attack roll. 17 and 7. With the 17, you hit one of the strands. As it crashes into it, you throw the 2 Eldritch Blasts at it. The first one kind of connects and you see it fizzle. And that particular strand, there are 4 of them that are on the outside of this. This magical strand kind of just... and the gate kind of closes just a little bit. There are still kind of 3 lining around the outside of it. But yeah, you take down one of them. The next one, as the Eldritch Blast kind of connects with the area, it seems the strand resists and doesn't take any damage from it.
All right.
You take down one, though.
All right, and that will be all for my turn. I'm still
right.
on the back of Lady Molly, though.
Zewxip, what do you want to do?
So based on that, there's like movement through this gate, or
It seems...
is it like, is this just like sticking my head out a window into a different place?
Well, basically what you've seen so far is you just saw Othgarurt throw the thing through and then get dragged backwards and through, and then Anadoltia just charged through. So I guess you don't entirely know unless you want to move up to it.
Oh, okay. So I'm not seeing something on the other side. It's just like a swirling.
You're just seeing
magic
the swirling green and purple light.
Okay. I'll still maintain my gust, but I'll aim it someplace away. And
Right,
I'd
yeah,
like
you
to
just
use an
hold on
item
to it.
interaction to get a rope out, 50-foot rope. And I'd like to start tying myself to like the door or something sturdy in this room, and
Alright, sure.
to myself.
Yeah, I'll say that if you're going to use your turn to do that, you do that. You create your kind of like rope and kind of tether to the world.
Okay.
Great. In that case, that's going to bring us to Cyron. What do you want to do?
See. I'm going to cast Warding Bond. There you go. On
What's it going to be?
who is on this side of the portal?
The only one on this side of the portal with you right now is Zewxip.
All right, then on Zewxip then.
All right, you cast Warding Bond on Zewxip. What does that do?
Let's see.
If that's your turn, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Gains +1 to AC and saving throws. Nice. Resistance to all damage. Nice. And each time it takes damage, you take the same amount of damage. Pretty cool. All right, so you set up this warding bond to protect your pled friend. Anything else on your turn?
No. That's it.
All right. In that case, that is going to bring us to Othgarurt. Othgarurt, you've been pulled through. You're being grappled right now. One big hand is kind of clasped about your chest. What do you want to do? Tethers, giant fly.
Slight question.
Yes, please.
If I enter a rage, can I still try to break free of his grip?
Yeah, it's only a bonus action to break free. It's an action to try and break a grapple. So, yeah, you enter into a rage, and then you're going to try and break free of the grapple.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and make me an athletics check with advantage, or I guess acrobatics if you want, but I assume it's athletics. Oh, not quite strong enough. That's bad luck there. Yeah, you're wriggling and struggling as hard as you can to get through, but this big ape just has a firm grip on you that you can't shake. I think that's probably all for your turn, Othgarurt.
It is, yes. I just want to be clear that it was a frenzied rage, which is why I was asking.
Oh, no, that makes no difference for this particular instance.
Okay, very good.
It's still just regular advantage. And at the start of your turn, I forgot to do this. We'll say this happened regardless, even if you failed. But I needed you to make me a Constitution saving throw at the start of your turn. 8. Okay. I won't make you expend your rage, because at the start of your turn, as you were kind of in the space, and that fly creature, it's just making this terrible droning noise with its wings, and it just kind of vibrates in this strange way, and it kind of lulls you downwards and into this unconscious state, and you collapse on the ground unconscious. But I won't, like I said, because I forgot to do that, I won't count that like frenzied rage as part of it, so you're not like going to be exhausted when you wake up. But you fall unconscious from whatever droning effect this fly is having. And that is going to bring us to the foe turn. As you kind of fall down, you're still kind of in the Barlgurrow's grasp. It kind of lets you drop to the ground, and then rears back and is going to swing down and punch at you. You are prone, so it has advantage. So that's going to crit. Another attack. 13, and then... oh wait, I did 2 bites. So that second bite didn't hit. Alright. Yeah, those are all going to connect for a total, as it just mauls you as you hit the ground. It chomps down on you for 17 points of damage, and then it's going to punch you again for another 19 points of damage. So that's 36 points of damage. I think I did that correctly. Yeah. You take 36 points of damage as this thing just kind of wails on you and chomps you. You immediately wake up and the unconsciousness effect ends. And then the fly creature is going to take its turn. Are you still up, Othgarurt? Are you okay?
Barely.
Okay. The fly creature is going to fly over towards you, Anadoltia, and is going to make an attack against you. Its wings are still beating this terrible droning rhythm. And it will attack publicly. That's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. You take... you take 31 points of damage from this thing, and you also begin to feel your life force drained out of you. Your hit point maximum has been reduced by 21.
I also like to say that it took 15 points of damage.
Oh yes, of course. Your armor of Agathis. The fire kind of blasts, or the cold rather, seeps into this creature. It doesn't seem like it took the full damage of it, like it might have some resistances to this. However, it still kind of frosts over, and it's making this kind of terrible droning sound still, but it kind of flies back a little bit. Awful looking creature. That is all for this creature's turn. That is going to bring us to the top of the initiative, which is you, Anadoltia, and I need you to make me a Constitution save. For the same thing that that is going to just fails. You are 1 off. Yeah, you, Anadoltia, at the start of your turn, you fall unconscious in the same way that you saw Othgarurt do so before. Do you have anything that you can do to like resist that or affect that, or do you just fall?
As far as I'm aware of, I don't have anything.
Okay. In that case, that's going to bring us to Zewxip. You're inside. What do you want to do?
I'm going to. I'm tied off to the dorm. I'm gonna run through the gate. Yeah.
All right, you charge in. You see the scene as I've already laid it out. What do you do? There's the 3 threads. There's your ally unconscious on the ground. There's Othgarurt, who's down but awake and fighting for life.
I will aim my gust of wind up at the flying creature to try and blow it away.
Absolutely.
And as my concentration.
Yep.
And I'd like to try and huck one of my unconscious friends back through the portal.
Okay, for sure. Go ahead and make me. Which friend do you want to throw?
I will be okay. Go for her.
Oh, all right.
There it is. You do so then. You kind of reach over, you pick up Anadoltia, and with, well, that's just your action. You go over and kind of drag her outside of the range of this terrible fly-like creature and toss her backwards through the portal. Is there? I'll tell you this as well. That's not enough to wake Anadoltia up. I guess you wouldn't necessarily know that, but you toss Anadoltia through the portal, and she is on the other side of it. Is there anything else you can do?
I think that would be my move, my action, and I'm concentrating on my wind. So unless there's any, well, no, because the big bug would have to resist my wind on its turn. So yeah, I think that's it.
It'll resist the one on his turn. In that case, that's going to be Cyron. What do you want to do?
I guess I'll head into the portal.
All right, you step through.
And let's see.
What's the play?
I will cast. I guess I'll cast a spiritual weapon.
All right, you conjure your spiritual weapon into existence. You having it attack the threads or one of the creatures?
One of the threads.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Alright. Alright. And... Alright. Hold on. Let's see.
Ugh, no.
Miss.
It goes and tries to cut through the thread, and it kind of bounces off. The magic deflects the spiritual weapon. That's just a bonus action. You still have your regular action.
Alright. I use my regular action to attack with spiritual weapon again, or?
It's only a bonus action for that, but you can use like a sacred flame or any other kind of attack action.
Let's see. Guiding bolt?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and make an attack roll. 16 just hits. You cast the guiding bolt up into the thread. Another one explodes. The portal closes just a little bit more, and yeah, you are halfway done. You've taken down 2 of these things. Halfway to mission complete. That's going to, in that case, bring us around to Othgarurt. What do you want to do, Othgarurt?
Are both the last threads on the same side?
They are. Well, they're they're close enough. There's one in like the top left corner, one in the bottom left corner. So yeah.
Friends, you must get moving now. There may be more to do on the other side. I will, before I get up, force a healing potion, a greater healing potion down the round.
You do so. 44 plus 4. 13 points of healing. All right, you feel yourself revitalized. Then what do you do, Othgarurt?
I shall stand and move as close to the portal edge as I can.
All right, you do so.
And lastly, I shall enter a normal rage and hungrily bite upon the, or at least hungrily attempt to bite upon the magical threads.
Just for the record, you already used a healing potion, so that's your greater healing potion, so that's your bonus action, so you probably can't.
With this one time, I can. I will.
Oh no, I mean the to go into the rage is what I was saying. You can definitely Hungry Jaws.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and make that attack roll. 24. You bite through one of the threads. Only one remains hanging up. The gate is very much wavering at this point. And you gain 3 temporary hit points as you absorb some of the magical energy of this thread. And you are on your last legs, as many of you are. And that moves us to the faux turns. That ape is going to look unto you and strike at you, Othgarurt, there right at the edge of the gate. You didn't provoke an opportunity attack because you were right next to it already. Ugh.
I just want to clarify, I was not doing a frenzied rage last turn. It was a normal, non-action rage.
Rage is a bonus action, actually.
Oh, I am a fool. I thought it was frenzied, it was bonus.
No worries. If I'm mistaken, someone let me know.
You were correct.
Yeah.
Well.
That is a crit, an 18, and a 15. Is that enough to bring you down, Othgarurt?
Yes, it is.
The creature bites onto you. 2 strong blows, and Othgarurt falls. A very close battle as we move now to the fly creature, who's going to make a strength saving throw against your gust of wind, which they succeed and it rolls. And they are going to look towards you, Zewxip, and go and use their proboscis on you. That is a 14 to hit. Does that get you, Zewxip?
No.
Okay. They go to stab into you. You dodge out of the way. The larn kind of proboscis, as they fly through the wind, pierces into the ground, and that is going to be all for. That's going to be all for their turn. It moves to the top of the initiative. Anadoltia, you are unconscious still, unfortunately. Then it's going to move next onto Zewxip. I need you to make me a con save. That barely fails again. 1 off.
Does he still have resistance on him?
Oh wait, you have resistance. You have a +1, or you also have a +1 to your saving throws from the spell that Daenerys costs. You succeed at 12.
I was just going to ask about that.
Yep, your turn is yours. What do you wish to do?
I want to huck another person through the portal.
All right, you're gonna toss Othgarurt through.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and you're a small creature, right?
No, that had to drop so I can maintain concentration on my wind.
Okay, yeah, so you're just a regular. Oh, not like I didn't mean like a super small, just like a regular small.
Oh no, I'm unless I misread it, I believe blossomers are medium-sized.
Okay, in that case, I can never remember. You just reach down and you use your action to toss Othgarurt through. And Othgarurt, you are on the other side of the portal. Is that all for your turn? Do you have a bonus action or?
No, that's all.
Okay.
I'll shout if I can. I don't know if it's an action, but I'll try and do the whole like, you're home. We want to leave.
Okay.
Performance again, or?
Yeah, you get the impression. I'll tell you this: you got the impression that they don't want to go home. Their intent was
Gotcha.
before to just guile you into basically stepping forward close enough for him to get you.
That's fine.
Yeah. In that case, that's going to bring us now to Cyron. I need you to make a Constitution save at the start of your turn from that terrible droning noise.
Alright. Constitution save.
You fall unconscious from this just awful noise ringing in your ears. You pass out. Which brings us, unfortunately, to faux turn. And the foes, that giant bug is going to keep going after you, Zewxip. And that's a critical failure to hit, which is good. That was an immense amount of damage, and it's almost max. And then is going to the ape creature is going to go after you, Cyron. You're prone, so it has advantage on its attacks. It's a 23, a 16, and a 10. Does a 10 hit? Cyron?
Yeah. What?
Does a 10 hit?
No.
You are 16 hits, I assume?
Huh?
Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay. You take 19 points of piercing and bludgeoning damage as the Balgura tears into you and punches you, and you are instantly awakened. And that's all for the foe turn. Othgarurt, I need you to make a death saving throw, and it'll actually no, it's Othgarurt, make a death save. I forgot to do this before. It should have happened before this round, but you're closer to success. The turn is gonna, I guess, Anadoltia's unconscious still, so it's going to be Zewxip. What do you do?
So it is me and one other on the side of the gate.
You and one other, yes, sir.
So two have been thrown through. Wait, is our third person unconscious?
Nope. Your ally woke up when he got attacked. So.
Okay. It was a wake up. All right. I'm
and
sorry because I know that there was a failed.
No worries. You're immune to the effect as well. Now that you have succeeded on it.
Okay. I'm going to. I mean, if I can catch both, I don't know. You said the proboscis was in the mud or something. I don't know if I can catch both the enemies in the gust of wind.
Yeah, you can get
I'll
both
aim
of
it and try and get him in that.
All right, you do that.
And then I will. I'll turn. And I will use my. If the tethers are on a large size, if I use Burning Hands, it's a 15-foot cone. Would I possibly hit several tethers?
There's only one tether remaining.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you're down to one.
In that case, you
gonna Burning Hands it?
Yeah, I'll. Well, I don't know if I'll need to Burning Hand. Well, yeah, I have some spell points. I'd rather have some damage output and put on a show. So yeah, I'll cast Burning Hands.
All right, the fire courses outwards and wraps into the tether, which burns up, and the magic on it kind of fails. And you watch as the gate becomes extremely unstable. You don't know how long it's going to last, but it's probably about to close. Do you want to move, or are you going to stay outside, or do you want to duck through?
Yeah, I'm going to. Is there a way that I can grab onto my ally and see if we can coordinated move?
You can, if you want. I'll say you can ready your action to move when they move, but you couldn't pick them up and carry them this round.
Sure.
Sure, or ready your movement in a sense.
So I want to blow the enemies back and ready to.
Okay, that's fine. Cyron, what do you want to do? You're on the ground. There's a giant ape standing right over you. The portal has been basically taken down. You just need to step through it. What's the play?
I'll try to step through the portal.
All right, you're gonna take a step back, and Zewxip, you go to step with. Each creature is going to get an opportunity attack on you as you step through. Against you, first, Cyron. That's a 10, which misses. And against you, Zewxip. It's a 24.
That squeaks in there.
33. Are you still up?
No.
Oh, Zewxip goes down with the proboscis, the hero that pulled everyone through, right as you kind of step through the portal. The gust of wind.
Actually, I think because of bonding
resistance?
ward, I die too. I go down.
Oh no!
Wait, do I only take half damage?
Yeah,
from
you take
something?
take half damage from that because of the ability.
Oh, then I'm up then. I have 30
Okay.
hit points.
Do you want to Do you
I
want
still
to?
go down.
Yeah, Cyron goes down instead from the hit on you. I completely forgot. Do you want to walk through at the time? Yeah, well, you readied your movement, so you stepped through right Zewxip, as you're about to step through. You just get struck with this proboscis, and you feel some of your life essence drained and kind of pulled from you, but it's lessened, and you shake it off and move through. But you see behind you this terrible spell of binding. Your ally, who is stepping along with you, takes half of it, and in a way, sacrifices himself for you as the portal closes behind you.
I'm gonna reach my hand through before the portal fully closes. Like I'm gonna reach my arm through.
And just kind of hold it until the portal closes.
Yep.
All right, the portal shuts. That piece of your arm kind of falls off, is cut clean, and is left there within the abyss, wherever that was in the abyss. And with that, the portal is closed, and your adventure successful. Although, again, at a cost. Anadoltia has to take damage, so you kind of smacked Anadoltia awake eventually, and it wears off after a minute anyway. And yeah, you were all successful in completing this adventure. You work your way eventually back to Kyle, the Dorm King, one party member fewer, and he says, "I see you return, but not one. There are 3. Did you lose one within the portal?"
Your math professor would give you a passable grade for that.
Thank you. I have studied math quite well for quite a long time. I've actually taken remedial algebra 4 times. So thank you. I apologize for your loss. Let at least your reward ease your worried hearts. And the Dorm King provides each of you with your 200 Bartholomew bucks for your Fabled Tier victory. Each of you gains 1 point of experience, and congratulations on your victory, adventurers.